Sirens Curse is Cedar Point's newest roller coaster. And yesterday, I had the privilege of experiencing Sirens Curse at the charity event held by the park. And today, I'm going to give you my thoughts on Sirens Curse, including what I think about the ride experience, theming, and where I think it ranks in the park's lineup. And without further ado, let's get straight into my review of Sirens Curse. Sirens Curse starts off with a small section of straight track before going into the very quick lift hill, which gives you a great view of a lot of the park. After you reach the top, you turn slightly to the left while getting another amazing view of the park. After this, you head onto the tilt track and stop for a few seconds while you hear some words from the sirens via the onboard audio. Then you inch forward a tiny bit while the train locks into the tilt track. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, you start to tilt to a 90-degree angle. This tilting is crazy in the front and the back because you would either go up a ton or down a ton, which makes the tilt crazy. Then, once you are at that 90-degree angle, you hold in that position for what feels like an eternity while another section of onboard audio plays to meet your doom, which is right before you drop 160 feet. This drop is way crazier than I anticipated. I expected it to be similar of other drops of the same height, but I was way wrong. The sheer jolt you get when the drop first starts is crazy, then the twist at the end is super intense, but also super smooth. Something I could say about a lot of the ride. I definitely recommend putting your hands up so that you can feel the full punch of that part of the drop. I also really recommend sitting towards the back of the train so you can get the most out of the straight section of the drop and more whip on the turn following the drop. After the drop, you head into an element that starts as a normal airtime hill, but then twists back the way you came. The rise up into the element has a lot of airtime in the front of the train, and the twist down has a lot of whip in the back of the train. After you valley out, you smoothly transition into the first of two inversions on Sirens Curse, a barrel roll. This barrel roll has a lot of whip, but isn't too intense either. This is definitely a solid inversion. After the barrel roll, you head into the triple down, which consists of a switchback type of element, a wave turn, and a more standard hill that feels similar to the second down on a double down, if that makes any sense. This sequence of events is really flowy, and reminds me a lot of Rocky Mountain construction roller coasters, just without the intensity. After the triple down, you head into Cedar Point's first ever tunnel on a roller coaster. And this tunnel is really well executed. The lights and the smoke are a nice touch, not to mention the incredible hand chopper moment that you get off the airtime hill. After you exit the tunnel, you head into this weird non-inverting loop-esque thing that actually had a solid amount of whip and airtime to it. After you exit the loop, you rise up and to the right into an element that I thought was the best moment of airtime on the ride. This fun little airtime hill really surprised me as I rode the ride more. After the short airtime hill, you begin what I consider Sirens Curse finale, which starts with the second inversion, yet another barrel roll. Because this barrel roll is profiled similar to the first, but taken with less speed, you get a bit of a floaty / hang time feeling on this one that you didn't really get on the first. After you exit the roll, you smoothly transition into another wave turn before turning into 3 very quick pops of airtime that do a great job of closing out the ride. And that third pop sends you straight into the brake run. And that is going to do it for your 2,966 foot long journey on Sirens Curse. Sirens Curse features Vecoma's new sit-down looping coaster trains. These have been used on a lot of other roller coasters around the world, but to my knowledge have not been debuted into the US until this ride. And my and other people I talked to's assessment of the trains was overall very positive. I personally thought the trains were super comfortable and really spacious. The restraints were super forgiving and the vest did not restrict my movement at all. The only slight complaint I would have is that the restraints do take a lot of force to pull down, and I did get stapled on more than one of my rides. But the good thing is, that doesn't really matter. The bar that sits on your lap is so small that it really doesn't impact your ride. Another thing that I really liked about the trains is how they look. The overall design of the trains looks cool by itself, but there were a few details that I really liked. First being that there was actually a really cool pattern on the trains that sort of sparkled in the light. You can't really see it from off-ride, but if you pay close attention to the trains while in the station, it's actually pretty easy to see. The small details like this really add to the ride experience. Another thing that I really liked was the lights on the train. Another first for Cedar Point. These lights are really cool at night, especially with the cool sequence that they run with the lights whenever it is on the tilt track or traversing the layout. This is a really strong point for Sirens Curse, and I am super excited to see more of these excellent trains stateside in the future. I am just going to get straight to the point with this one. Sirens Curse has some of the best theming I have ever seen at a seasonal amusement park. From the water at the bottom of the drop, to the onboard audio, the super cool painting on the track and the supports, and even the entry sign, this is easily the best theme ride at the park, and it isn't even really all that close. I have seen Disney and Universal rides with worse theming. In case you didn't already know, the whole theme of the ride is that you are on a shipping crane tower in Lake Erie, and you are being lured in by sirens, which, in Greek mythology, are basically half girl and half animal beings that play songs to trap sailors. And they are known in the Odyssey for trapping Odysseus' crew with serenading music that made the crew want to go towards them. And the ride's placement close to the Sandusky Bay and Lake Erie also really adds to that theme. As mentioned earlier, the onboard audio, another first for Cedar Point, also really adds to the theme, especially when the sirens speak to you on the tilt track, but also when that really cool rock music plays throughout the layout. Another strong point is how the queue and an area around the ride look. The shipping crates and parts of the queue and the quote-unquote boathouse themed gift shop really add to the theme as well. Also, the station is really cool, with the missing panels and painted rust on the air gates to convey that the station is old and worn out. Not to mention the creaking and bird sounds that get played throughout the speakers. Overall, another super large plus for the ride, and I hope this is what's to come for all new Six Flags rides in the future. Sirens Curse is an excellent ride. There's really no other way of putting it. The ride experience is solid, the trains are really nice, and the theming is world class. I really couldn't have wanted anything more from the space it occupied. When the ride was first announced, I have to admit I didn't really have sky-high hopes for the ride, but I am happy to say that Sirens Curse absolutely exceeded my expectations. As for ranking Cedar Point, I think I still need to get a few more rides on a hot sunny day to say for sure, but I currently have it at number 5 in the park, and that is probably where it will land for a lot of people. Sirens Curse opens today, June 27th for pass holders, and tomorrow, June 28th for non-pass holders. And I definitely recommend going to Cedar Point to give this excellent new ride a try. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you later. Bye.